Hi everybody, my name is Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto Under 20. And I'm just going to do it for today because thinking of doing it every day for the rest of my life, so overwhelming. But we as a group can do it together. How do I know this? Because as a community, we're showing it every day. Look at the people that I've got commenting and what's happening in their lives. And it's more than just a weight loss program. It is a way of life. It's amazing how things get cleaned up and new ideas happen and an energy that like you never felt before for good things for yourself. Keto Mad Mike, the male part of the couple, he was saying, if you told me 6 months ago that I'd be growing tomatoes and, what was he growing? Tomatoes and something, I don't know. It was from the podcast that I did on, not blind spots. Oh God, I'm spacing. But anyway, a lot of people were commenting. Oh, I know, the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. And he said, if you told me 6 months ago that I'd be thinking of chickens, it's crazy. And it's like, it's so true. I'd love to have chickens, but it's just not practical here in the Northeast with the coldness and me being almost 67 and having to crawl into the little coop and stuff. But I'm just so enchanted by chickens when I see them with people. They're so lucky. And like one of the pickles has somebody down the street give her eggs and an Amish farm that she can go to. And we are just, some of us are just so darn fortunate. And rather than lucky, I like to think of the term fortunate because we can sometimes seek out fortunate things, and sometimes it's just a gift, and it comes to us, and when you unwrap it, you say, you know what? This was what I was supposed to get. This was what I was supposed to get to learn how to be grateful, how to be happy with what I have, how to understand that, like, the full appreciation for finally taking care of myself. Some of us get to finally, I'm dealing with my teeth, my feet, my knee problem, my weight problem, my cholesterol. A lot of us just go la-ti-da through the field, and each weed is a different, continuing to worsen health issue that we've got. And I have a friend whose boyfriend has a list of things that he needs to have done. We're talking surgeries, anesthesia, hospital stays, 6 things he's been putting off. And, it's sad. And one of my besties just decided to go on Lipitor because those around her are on Lipitor and they say, yeah, it works for me. I've been on it for years. And it's like, no. But here's the deal. I'm quiet about it because we each have our own journey and we each make our own decisions about what we're going to do. And I guess my job as a friend, as a mother, with Greg at my job is to just, go with it, remain neutral, and just be clear in my own boundaries and my own what I'm doing. And then when I get to here with you and sharing the things that keto has brought into my life that might not even have anything to do with keto, but now that I'm doing keto and tracking and taking care of myself, and each decision is a better decision, to go from no decisions to go with the flow decisions to better bad choice decisions, BBCs, to really getting very clear about what it is you want in your life with your keto food plan. Manon, I'm hoping I pronounced that okay. Nobody bats an eyelash at her yellow cooler when she goes to an event because inside of it is her salad and her hard-boiled eggs and her EVU and then she just does it and nobody rolls their eyes and nobody says anything. And so, I guess I'm kind of eccentric like that too. And I have every bit of me would do that sort of thing going to an event. And we have a gathering coming up in a couple of weeks, and I don't know any of the people there, And, the plan B will be there will be a salad for me at home, undressed, that I can either have the next day or as soon as I get back if the cookout is filled with all kinds of stuff. But guarantee you, this is the season where you can do keto at an event because there's bound to be a barbecue and there's bound to be protein. So even if you just bring your own salad or assume there'll be one there, you can make it work. And for me, it's always been, if there's enough fat in me, then I'm satiated and I can go the distance. Yesterday, I had a family emergency, and I didn't know if I'd be able to eat. Imagine, isn't it funny? It's like, here's this family emergency that's devastating and sad. And it's like, well, when will I be able to eat? Well, everything went along the way that it always does. And I had my big A salad at noon today because last night I had planned on making that egg pot roast red leaf lettuce with cheddar cheese on it dinner for Greg. I'd had it 2 days for lunch and I was going to make it for dinner. And it all went off okay. And I had 7 hours with that family member and it was okay. So we do what we can do. Now, on another note, this is going to be interesting. There will be a lot of Sarah Schools and Sarah eye-opening events coming your way. I have ordered a book on the food system, the United States food system. And I listened to a podcast about it yesterday. Last night I was at work and I had a bonus shift, so I could listen to it because my 600-pound life wasn't on, what is it, Discovery or TLC station all night long, so I couldn't watch it. I love that doctor. He's so patient with his patients that have no regard for the program to get to the weight loss surgery, right? So as I did it way, way, way back when I was probably on Weight Watchers, and I just took a picture of the website and the leading industry who owns us with what we eat and how they just gobble up, and the term slotting, which can cost a company thousands, if not millions of dollars for the slot to put their product, and how, bless their hearts, organic people with their products or their produce, want to remain steadfast and not give it up. Cliff Bars is one. They were offered a huge buyout, and the owner said, I am going to keep doing what I'm doing, and nobody's going to change me and what I've got here. He was offered $60 million, and he said no. So there are some food people out there. White Wave was another organic company. You may know them as Almond Breeze, and they were pretty much sticking to the organic formula and staying small by choice. That was the founder's philosophy. And they took a huge buyout, and that's why now you're not seeing on the ingredients organic or no GMOs on every product like you used to see. So, but it's just little slippery things that happen. But I just wanted to let you know that as we get into this, the 10 biggest industries, it's astounding. Nestle is the biggest one. Google what their products are. You will be amazed. The next one is Lou, and you've seen them in the biscuits, the little chocolate-covered type biscuits out of England. That's another huge one. No surprise here, PepsiCo and Coca-Cola. And then Associated British Foods, Danone, which owns Danone, and General Mills, Mars, and there are a couple others that the man said it so fast I couldn't write it down. As you can see, I was doing my flyers because they came out on Wednesday, and so I could do them on my Thursday overnight so I could do all the things I'm going grocery shopping for. So I'm frantically writing all of these things while he's going over it. But the compromises the companies make once they're bought out are subtle, but they're there. And you will see them. And so for somebody to be able to compete with the slaughters of where these items are placed, and it doesn't make any difference for me with bread and cereal. and processed foods. It doesn't. But it does make a difference to me. You know, like I was saying the other day, Earthbound was another one. And I'm not sure if they fought to stay small and organic. But what happens with these farmers, and they're bought out at a rate of, you know, there's now like just 1,000 farmers left, and they're just gobbling up the organic ones. And so if they keep a certain brand of the company they've gobbled up organic, and then next to it is 1,000 acres of GMO pesticide sprayed crops, guess what? Those things blow into the organic. And so as you saw yesterday, or a few days ago with my Dirty Dozen and Clean 15, all the organic treatment in the world for a farmer's crop could be spoiled by a windstorm blowing the pesticides and seeds with GMOs in them onto their property. So I won't say we're doomed, but what you think may be pesticide-free and organic may have had some hybridizing along the way. And so one of the pickles is from the Netherlands, and you know, the EU will not allow GMOs, and they're very strict. And these super wheat things that we have here for us, which shouldn't be an issue for us, right? You know, they don't allow over there. And so a lot of people say that when you're traveling, you can have things that are local to that country and come back and think, well, I never had those things until I went on vacation, and now I have them here. And they have all kinds of intestinal issues because we have Americanized, with our industrial way of handling things, the food item. And it's not at all like it was in that country. So sometimes the third world people have a much cleaner diet than we do, right? So you will be hearing a lot about that, and it is fascinating to me. And I hope it's fascinating to you guys. You know, we do what we can. And, excuse me, I've seen some documentaries like on Netflix and things like that. And Michael Pollan is a big kind of purist about, you know, where your food comes from. I think he's a vegetarian. Oh, and Whole Foods, they actually have, and now that Whole Foods has been gobbled up by Amazon, what changes do you think you'll see? But Whole Foods has a ban on 100 items they will never allow into their store. So I want to research that too. So it's very, very interesting. And I noticed that about Whole Foods, you know, that there's a lot of things on their shelves that are like, oh, I thought that they were much more conscientious of the products that they would sell. But, you know, you're not finding 100% organic or grass-fed items. So it is fascinating. We do what we can. The food chain here is not safe in America. So we do what we can. And one woman just commented to me that she's perhaps not as diligent as she should be about things. And I told her that, you know, I'm relaxing a little bit too. I mean, sometimes it's just impossible to buy certain things. But with the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15, it does make a difference. I had to buy a red cabbage the other day that was not organic. I'd been buying red organic cabbages at Stop and Shop all winter long. I go there last week. It's July, so it's summer. They had a summer helper on. And I said, do you have any organic red cabbages out back? And he goes, we can't get them. Real snotty, real snarky. And it's like, oh, okay, I had them all winter. I didn't say that to him. I just said, okay. And I found an organic radicchio, which is red. And so it's the same thing in my salad as far as I'm concerned. There's just a visual that goes along. And so, you know, I will never buy non-organic spinach. That was clear in the in the Dirty Dozen, and half of them were fruits anyway, so I'm not going near them. And we have the raspberry bush here, which is my only source of berries, and I had 5 of them a month ago, and now I'm ready for the next popping of the berries. It's me versus the birds. Did any of you ever see that bird movie? Very, very quirky on Netflix. with three men that are competing to see these birds, these, you know, like the National Audubon Society has this contest about spotting certain birds, and I'm sure there's a term, and totally hysterical. And you think it's going to be this dry, slow-going movie, but you learn a lot about human behavior after watching these three men. I liked it. I guess I'm a quirky person. I love my Netflix. So, you know, buyer beware. And if you printed out the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15, you can go shopping and have a little bit clearer, you know, like for me, the avocados, if they aren't organic, it's okay because they're part of the Clean 15. Same with the asparagus. And I was laughing because Mike said, yeah, who knew the two items that we use a lot, asparagus and avocados, we don't have to buy organic. And so you can save a little bit there. I think that I will always buy grass-fed burger, but I had a porterhouse steak that wasn't grass-fed last week. Lisa, are you keeping up with the shots? So anyway, it is what it is, and here we are, and I'm all pumped up to be getting this book and to learn more about our food industry in the United States. And trust me, they're like doctors. It's much easier to write a script for Lipitor than to look at my friend and say, what are you still eating at 70 years old that is causing you to have this high cholesterol reading? Because then it would be a whole can of worms, meaning nutrition. And if he doesn't know nutrition, it's much easier for him to write a script. And she gets all the, yeah, I do it too, yeah, I do it too, yeah, I do it too. And so she seems like she's in a safe community. Well, I'm in the keto community, and I will fight not to take all these all these prescriptions that are handed out like they used to do lollipops, or they do dog biscuits at the drive-thru. So, my pickles, have a wonderful day. Read the labels. Just be a little aware of what you're choosing, because sometimes there's no other choice than a better bad choice. And that's the way we roll. So, till next time, this has been Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto Under 20, with my organic radicchio and my non-organic asparagus and avocados, although my avocados are organic right now. But we do what we can. And pats on the back for doing it. See you next time. Bye-bye for now.